Now we're ready for the repot. This plant has been here for a while. It's pretty root bound. It was a fairly large pot, so after I shake all the soil off, it was not root bound. I mean, it had a lot of room to grow still. You know, I was fairly surprised. This plant has been there for a while, so I had to say the root wasn't growing as fast as I want to. But hopefully it will improve with a new mix and a new pot, a new bonsai pot. So I'm just gonna shake the soil off. I'm gonna do, 50–60% root pruning. Fairly simple. And then I also rinse it off, and now I can see the root structure. I see some white roots. These are the ones I want to keep. These are the nice ones, but a lot of black and dead root, so I'll remove those. Okay, initially I thought of using very shallow pots for this plant. Shallow but big pots, very wide. But after looking at the root structure, I realized that would be impossible. The root is there's some kind of height in this root, so I had no choice but to choose this bigger and deeper pot. Okay, I put the mesh in the bottom of the pots. I'm gonna run some wires across it so I can tie the plant to the pot. Quite a few people ask me, why you tie the plants? Well, the reason is because when the plants are recently repotted and the root is shallow, they don't have a good hold of the soil, you could easily topple. A little strong wind or a little animal come by and give it a push, it could topple. The tree could be yanked out of the pot easily if you don't tie it. So that's why we should tie it. I could even tell you a funny story I had. One day I finished repot the plant, put it in my balcony. I turned around, there was a bird sitting on top of the plant of a tree that I recently repotted. Fortunately, the plant was tied down, so the bird sitting on it didn't cause too much damage. Okay, now I'm trying to fill it up with the soil that I made. If you want to know, the composition of the soil is 60% organic, garden soil, and then 40% perlite. It's a very simple mix. You want to shake your pot so the soil can settle. Push down on the edge a little bit. Put more soil, and repeat the process. You can actually go use a stick to try to fit more soil into the roots, so there are no air pockets in the roots. Gotta be patient. You don't want to break the roots or cram it too hard. Okay, once all the soil are in, just use a light shower to water it. Make sure you don't wash the soil away. Give it some time for the water to be absorbed. Repeat. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is my newly potted green Japanese maple bonsai. It's still bonsai at a very initial stage. Some of the major branches need to be removed afterwards. Probably next year. But right now I think this will be enough. You can see on the side, these are all the branches that I removed in this pruning. About, I would say, 60-70% of the branch were removed, and 60% of the roots were removed. Little close up from the top. Actually, my story about the bird on the tree didn't finish. Actually, I didn't finish talking about it. You know, when the bird was on top of the tree, it was doing fine, but it then flew off, and just by jumping and flying off, the inertia of its weight actually toppled my plant, even though it was well anchored and tied down. So I had to kind of repot that plant quickly, just so you know. Inertia, that's one word that I haven't used since college. Okay, this is 50 days, actually near the end of April. 50 days after I repotted the green maple. It's not growing as vigorous as I expected. This tells me that the plant was kind of weak. When I repotted, when I transplanted, a lot of buds didn't come out. A lot of buds that I wanted to come out, it didn't. This is the new apex, and it's growing slowly. So, but it's gonna make it. It's surviving, and you should do well. Just need to be careful, and hopefully it will regain its strength this year.